The City of Kingston's web page, Together at Home COVID-19, is a place where Kingstonians can connect with others and find out about how they're staying positive during the COVID-19 state of emergency, and share stories and ideas on how we can come together while staying at home. Joining me is Mark Nardi, Communications Officer with the City of Kingston. Hi Mark, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about Together at Home COVID-19 webpage. What is the function of it?
It's a platform to connect Kingston residents and share some good stories. We know this is a pretty challenging time for everybody, but we know that there's a lot of good happening out there, and residents are getting involved in all sorts of great ways to improve their community, even just from their living rooms. So this is really an opportunity to kind of highlight some of that.
Right, and you talked about staying positive. There's a lot of negative news and scary news, and this is a place where people can get away from that.
That's kind of the hope for this. I mean, essentially, what we're trying to do is highlight some of the different strategies that residents are going to, to stay healthy mentally, physically. We know that physical distancing is challenging for a lot of people. It's a massive lifestyle change. So this is kind of an open-ended format for people to submit and share their ideas.
Great. So let's talk about what ideas are out there. What different things are people sharing?
So the way the page is set up right now is we have 3 different tabs. It's using our Get Involved platform. So there's a whole kind of toolbox that we can pull from. But when we put this together, we have an ideas page, which is essentially just a board of sticky notes. Residents can kind of log in to share an idea, leave some comments on it. They can comment on each other's ideas. We also have a shared resources page where residents can actually put resources for other community members to go to on there. And then we have a needs page, which is designed to kind of connect residents to specific needs that they may have that may or may not be getting met.
Let's talk about how people can access the Together at Home COVID-19 webpage.
It's based on our Get Involved Kingston platform. So there's already somewhere around 8,500 participants who have registered for various other projects. So they're already keyed into this. They'll get a notification that comes up through our newsletters on Fridays. But we've also got several other different things going out in the community. So we obviously put out a news release about it, just as a general information piece. And then we have social media, kind of designed to get residents just to click across and go there. And we know that social media and online communications aren't the go-to for everybody. So we also have tried to place some print wherever we can in Kingston this week, for example, just to make sure that people do know this option exists.
So Mark, tell me, what's the goal, the vision for this connecting people? What do you want to see come out of it?
Good ideas. We just want to see some positivity. It's a collaborative platform, and it's really at this point about becoming kind of a switchboard to make sure that residents can sort of connect with each other. So we're seeing already some really positive ideas. I mean, people are going out there sharing, for example, ideas for doing yoga in their living room, or you're hearing about residents going out in their neighborhood at 7:30 to kind of show their support for frontline healthcare workers. We want to see those kind of ideas because that's really what keeps people going throughout this entire thing, right?
Exactly. You mentioned a few things you've seen already, but what has really stood out for you, has inspired you to stay positive?
I think the big thing for me is kind of the support we're seeing for healthcare workers. I mean, we've had a couple different kind of tabs on our ideas platform here, but essentially we had a resident a while ago kind of post a photo of himself and his neighborhood that have all gotten together and kind of tried to do this concerted thing at 7:30, which is really interesting because obviously we've started illuminating City Hall as well to show our support. And that's really a kind of sense of the community-wide nature of this, right? You're seeing it on a neighborhood basis, but you're also seeing it kind of across the city at City Hall. People are practicing physical distancing, but it's still trying to come up with ways to show their support for these residents. The other really interesting thing that I'm starting to see is that people are throwing ideas onto this page. So for example, I believe it's the Tet Center has actually posted something about a home challenge where residents can take photos and have a little bit of a photo competition in their own personal space. And you'll also see individuals that are posting things out there about, does anyone have access to a 3D printer? Let's look for some ways to get involved. I know we've posted something to the United Way KFLNA webpage about kind of their volunteer hub and ways that residents can go out there and still contribute meaningfully. So it's really neat to see all of this stuff kind of start to come together on this page. We know it's one option of many, but for many residents it could be the go-to, and that's kind of great.
That's great. Well, thanks, Mark. I guess the message is stay home, stay safe, and stay positive. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.